Hello everyone, this is Pelicandude, and welcome back to the second episode of my Planetary Annihilation unit guide. And in this episode, we're going to be taking a look at the docks. So the docks is an interesting little unit, because it's generally a good unit, it's just kind of lacking a place, or at least a long-lasting place, and I'll explain. So, it's a really great unit for quickly traversing across the map, as it's much faster than the Tech 1 tanks and vehicles, for instance. So it's really good at taking down unguarded mexes, for instance. So if your enemy is expanding, obviously this game here is a little ridiculous on the small moon, but if your enemy is expanding a lot and not defending all their metal extraction points as good as they, could be, so to speak, you can use a party of doxes to quickly mow down those expansion bases and really hinder their economy. So that's probably their best use right now. And they're extremely good at that because they're quick, they're agile, and they pack a lot of firepower for the size and price. They also are pretty good at taking down other Tech 1 units. They mow them down pretty quickly. And they can take down Tech 1 like laser towers, the single laser towers, but they're not particularly good at it. It really is just kind of horrible at killing any defense unit whatsoever. Like I said, it can kind of pull off the Tech 1, single laser tower, but a double laser tower is just going to murder them, and don't even really think about the advanced triple laser towers because they're just gonna completely, they don't stand a chance, more or less. They'll get one-shotted by pretty much all of the defenses. So that's always a bit of an issue if you're trying to take them down. Similarly, artillery and the Uber Cannon will annihilate these little guys. However, due to the small size of them, they can evade incoming artillery shells pretty well if you're micromanaging them, and they can stay ahead of enemy commander due to how fast they are. However, if you're going in for a kill on an enemy commander with your doxes, it's really just not going to work because a single Uber Cannon shot can take out like 20 of these guys when they're grouped together. They're really pretty much completely useless at killing a commander. So if your enemy has like no defenses, for instance, then you're really going to be good off with a dox raid because you're going to be able to tear through their base, take out eco structures, stay one step ahead of their army, and just completely cripple them. However, because it's so lightly armored and because it gets one-shotted by pretty much everything in the game, it's really not useful for doing much else than that. Like I said, it is good at taking out other Tech 1 units and it's good at taking out undefended structures, but you've got not much use behind that. That being said, there are a couple of strategies that you can pull off pretty well with the docks. So if you keep dodging, you can evade enemy commander fire, like I've already said, and that works decently well. And also, you can use them kind of as the firepower, I don't know how to explain it. You can use them to hide behind other units. So let's say you've got some Tech 1 tanks, yeah, that's the best way to put it. You can use other units kind of as like a riot shield almost. It'll protect these guys from fire. So let's say I have a bunch of Tech 1 tanks, or better yet, those Infernos or whatever, those flame tanks. You can take those tanks and put them between the enemy and the doxes, or sprinkle in the doxes with these Infernos and stuff. And even though you're sacrificing a lot of move speed for that, because vehicles move much slower than the doxes, as I've previously mentioned, what can happen is now your vehicles can take the heavy hits for your doxes, but the doxes with their quick firing little guns can do a lot of damage. So that's one of the ways that you can possibly use the dox. But unfortunately, due to that light armor, it's really not a unit that you're going to want to be using by the midpoint of the game. You really are going to want to move on to Tech 2 by that point. Tech 2 is really, it just replaces Tech 1 in this game. I mean, it improves and expands upon it, and you can still use Tech 1 for some stuff. Like, maybe some of you guys saw my amazing scout plane victory the other day. Obviously, that's not going to happen all the time, though. But really, this unit is, while it's useful for raiding and useful for taking out undefended stuff and getting your enemy's economy set back, and easy to spam, it's really not all that useful later in the game. And for attacking an enemy base that has an enemy commander sitting right in the middle of it waiting to uber cannon you, or a couple laser towers around the edge, it's not really something that I can recommend. So there you go, guys, the docks. Good against other Tech 1 units, not so good against anything that's defensive or Tech 2, and easy to build. So I guess that's the answer to what doxes are good for, and I hope you enjoyed this little dox unit guide. Thanks for watching, everyone, and have a nice day.